Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. This is players. This is Untitled Chapter, and today I'm going to do another video on droids. Like, I have done some videos on the droids in the past, but I kind of want to recap my thoughts, you know, bring them back out to light and stuff like that. So yes, today we got the release of BB-8's kit. You know, it's a really great kit. If you don't, you need to check it out. A lot of other YouTubers have done it before, or have done the BB-8 videos. Probably a little bit more, a lot better than me, but I'm still doing the videos nonetheless, with the limited resources that I have on recording, being my cell phone and my tablet. That's kind of the sad thing, but that's something I'm working towards, so I can get like a laptop that I can record. So, but yes, with the release of BB-8, I want to find out, are droids going to be more viable? Also, some thoughts on reworks when and if we have droid reworks go on. So I'm going to go slap myself into the Heroes game, and we're going to talk about the droids. So we have in total 9 droids until BB-8 comes out. Then it's 10 droids. Unfortunately, there's more dark side droids than light side, but that is fine. Granted, I have also done a video on bringing light side droids, some more light side droids into the game based on D Squad, and I think that is still a good faction. Obviously, not for now, but like probably after they do at least a separatist and droid rework, then eventually bring out some more light side droids, so they kind of, you know, keep them kind of even. I'm not saying keep them completely even, that's just kind of dumb, but you know what I mean. Some of the cool droids are dark side droids. So obviously I'm not going to talk about R2 because he's just perfection. Like, you know, don't talk about that. The only thing I would rework with him is if they did bring the D Squad out and they have that D Squad tag in Galactic Republic, you'll probably want with number crunch to add, you know, D Squad to it, like give it like critical avoidance, speed, something of that nature. So so we're going to talk about, starting off, HK-47, probably the best droid leader in the game. The only droid leader that's ever present in the game. Some people use IG-88, but HK-47 is better. You got that turn meter. Now, what I find out that's lacking with HK-47 is his speed and his damage output. It's kind of on the downside. He's a support, but how is he supporting his leadership ability and being able to revive himself the first time? There's not much. It really is not much to, you know, go off of. So I think I talked about this in a previous video, that maybe his basic and his AoE can do a little bit more. Like, I even thought of, you know, increasing the chance to 35% and adding in days, so we can have some days action coming in, especially since we got a lot of Luke Skywalker teams. Droid teams just get crushed with counter attacks. So having Meatbag Mayhem to actually throw out some, maybe even some tenacity down, as well as days, that would actually, you know, make him a little bit better, increase the damage output a little bit. And honestly, personally, I don't see HK-47 as a support character. I see him more of an attacker. And yes, maybe you might have to, you know, cut some of his health a little bit to bring up his speed, maybe bring up his offense, but that's that. Also, since we've also had the recent Gear 12 update, of course, we haven't seen really any gameplay of Gear 12, and I am not much of a famous YouTuber yet to actually, you know, have access to a developer type of account, so I can test with droids and test with these odd characters other than just plainly Rebels and Empire, you know, the basic few factions. So yeah, he needs some more damage output. Also, his leadership is by far, it does need rework. It needs a rework. Yes, it's maxed out as an Omega. I'm not saying, you know, increase the critical chance or turn meter. You know, those are fine. Maybe increasing, like, speed would be wrong. It wouldn't be too bad to have, like, you know, 10, 15 speed. And it's all debatable, too. I also say this one could also be, like, critical avoidance would be nice. Because if you actually pay attention to KOTOR 1 and 2, some of his assassin target stories, he says he's really quick. You know, he's really quick, gets the job done, and takes out quite a few. Yes, he does still get captured and reprogrammed, etc., but he's still really a quick droid for the most part. So he could, you know, like I said, theoretically be sped up. So, but with this, and that also could mean he could also get a second unique that, you know, supports him, and like other droids gain half these amounts, kind of thing. so that he at least support. If he's going to be a support, you know, you could at least do that. If he's not the leader, but why wouldn't you make him the leader? Duh. But like I said, this would be a really good leader, or this could be a better leadership ability. Like the main part, what's right here is fine, but yeah, like I said, it could be a little bit better. And then Reconstruction would probably eventually get a Zeta. That means he may revive with some more health and protection, and then maybe give someone else a. Honestly, another thought, like I have thought of in the past and done some forums and posts and some talks on HK, his Reconstruction could work towards another droid or two. And after he dies, if he dies first, obviously, or maybe just the first droid dies, he comes back, changes ability to, you know, whenever the first droid dies, you know, but he also still kind of gains that revive ability. I don't know, something of that nature. Or like if he dies and comes back, another droid gets a little icon of this resurrection and gets the same effect, except it's decreased by like 30% or something, all the way down to like 10%. I don't know. But that's HK. Like I said, he needs a little bit more oomph out of him, because I've noticed his damage isn't as good as output as like IG-86 or 88, and that just makes those two droids seem a lot better than them. The next one, IG-88, he is really a good hard hitter, especially when your opponents have debuffs, as long as they haven't, you know, cleansed. So he doesn't need a major rework like his leadership does. Need a bit of a rework. And his adaptive aim algorithm could also support droids. The reason being is, if you pay attention to the legend story, IG-88, IG-88 A, B, C, and D, they started to, you know, kind of plot a like droid revolution or something, and this giving like critical damage, and then, you know, dealing like, say, like they could increase the deals 30% more damage for each enemy, and then, you know, other droid allies get half these amounts, you know, so, you know, something of that nature towards a Zeta, you know, something like that. And that just makes IG-88 a super insane character to work with. But he's also a bounty hunter, so he could still support bounty hunters in a way. So he calls out his shots. But like I said, he does really good. He's still squishy as all get out, but he is a super. He's really good with his attacks. K2SO, he does need to rework a little bit, especially his Zeta. Oh my gosh, crystals, go away. Just for me, 2,800 crystals. Yay! K2SO is a good rebel tank. I love how he works his Enforcer ability, where if he's damaged, he has 75... Oh no, wherever he attacks, he has a 75% chance, 100 while buffed, to taunt for one turn. And it's dispelled when he takes damage, but he also has a counter chance. So anytime that counter chance happens, he also taunts. It's a really disruptive taunt. It can be annoying if you're facing against it, especially if you're facing against a good Rogue One team. Oh, I faced against one of those in Galactic War, and yeah, man. Anytime you do an AoE, here comes K2SO, taunt, punch taunt. He punches and then he taunts. It's like, come on. So, but yeah, that's the thing, is I feel like one thing that the droid teams are lacking is a good tank. Granted, yes, B2 is a super well-built tank, but he doesn't taunt, unless you throw R2 stealth on him, or, you know, fake taunts with him, but, and that doesn't work out very well because, you know, a lot of the droids, they go so fast that by the time the opponent goes, the droids are unstealthed. It's kind of sucks. So, and that's one of the reasons why I do use B2 or K2 on a droid team for like Galactic War. I always use him, and then I swap out 86 for B2 if I need a B2 cleanse. I just love that disruptive taunt. He's taunting, but he needs a slight rework. I'm not saying like a super one. And the rework coming in is, well, maybe some of his, you know, damage attacks could do something. He could also, weirdly enough, this character could also have an ability where, you know, he pulls out like the blaster pistol that Jen gives him. So he does some sort of damage attack with that. You know, something of that nature. And that does like a dispel effect or something. But you know, K2, like I say, he's good as is, minus like his Zeta. His Zeta is just one of the crummiest Zetas. You don't want to Zeta this unless it was like cheapened or actually was improved. Just 1% protection. A lot of times characters are going to do like 20% damage, and you're only going to, you know, gain back 1, so it'd be 19%. So you're not really surviving, and it's a tank. So, like I said, that one could be a little bit better. But overall, you know, K2 is a really fun tank if you actually use him. And obviously he works best with the Rogue One team and with Cassian Andor. The next one's Chopper. This one is a real interesting droid. And I can see this character adding either another unique or special, something of that nature, to make him a more unique character. Honestly, I don't know. I just don't feel that Chopper is really good. Like, yes, I have seen Chopper in a couple of teams. It was a Rebel team where it was a Wigs, Chirrut, this, and some other character. And it was doing pretty well in the meta, but then things changed quickly, so it didn't last long. I don't remember the team right off, so if you have the team list, you know, shoot it to me. What was this? Okay, that's defense. Oh, still got to get better mods for this. But yeah, what's funny is Chopper is a super fast droid. He's a pretty dang fast droid. He's a 152 speed at this moment without the mods that's given it to him. But for the most part, that's a pretty fast droid. So he throws up a taunt. Unfortunately, his taunt is just a one-turn taunt, and it's kind of sucks in a sense, because by the time the enemy gets to go, his taunt's gone. He's already attacked again. If he was on a droid team and he crits with his reckless fling, yeah. So, like I said, this droid needs another unique ability or something to help him support with droids, not just Phoenix. Like, yes, there's only like been one, maybe two other times where Chopper was with other droids. Like, he was with R2 and 3PO at one time, and then he was working with I think it's AP5, that Republic droid turned Imperial turned Rebel, the grumpy inventory droid that works his you know, I guess you could say I don't want to say chemistry, that sounds weird. We don't want to imagine droids doing, yeah, anyways, but his personality, that's what I was looking for. His personality worked well with Chopper. So, but outside of that, you know, he doesn't really support droids. Like, yes, he does go against droids with his Metal Menace to stun for a turn, and that's fine. Like, reverse droid teams, or enemy droid teams, you could go, okay, I stun you. Okay, thanks. And he's a dispeller, he taunts, cantankerous clinker. It's just, I don't know, I just feel like there could be more out of Chopper. With what we've seen in Rebels, more out of Chopper. And I think Chopper is probably one of the most, one of the droids that needs the most rework out of Phoenix, or one of the characters. Outside of light reworks for the other characters and so on. And I have talked about this in other videos that Phoenix Squad could actually turn similar to Imperial troopers, where they don't need a Phoenix leader to give them those abilities. Like, if you decided to build a Jedi team, for instance, with Ezra, Kanan, Qui-Gon, Luminara, and Barriss, for example, because also you don't have General Kenobi yet. The fact of Kanan and Ezra, they both, you know, share their uniques together would be really handy. And maybe doing a half amount for any other faction that they're related to. So, you know, half amount to Rebels or like maybe a third to Rebels, but like a half amount to Jedi for like Kanan and Ezra. Chopper would be, you know, these statuses. You know, at the start of turn, Chopper recovers, probably even raise it up to 20% of his max health, and then droids would give 10% max health. And then whenever he's damaged, he gains protection up for 20%, and then other droid allies gain, you know, half that, which would be 10%. So he's kind of supporting in that way. But like I said, you know, he definitely needs a rework for sure. Of course, the next one, B2. I can still see B2 having a slight rework. Maybe another ability. or maybe even a way to taunt, you know, and then have some sort of like protection, and you know, like 10% protection, 5% health regen or so. If not, that's fine. You know, he's still a really good droid. He's just not used much anymore. The meta has changed so much. At the beginning of the year, you'd still see B2s, but now you don't. So, no, not much thoughts on B2, because he, to me, feels like a good droid. He just needs to probably be reworked a little bit, maybe. Of course, this one is the biggest droid of all that everyone wants a rework for. General Grievous. Why not? It makes perfect sense. Obviously, his leadership ability doesn't even affect droids or separatists, which I'm sure if they did just a droid rework and not a droid and separatist, which I hope it was both, a droid rework would actually make this, you know, maybe this ability still be on it, or maybe this would be part of an Omega / Zeta or something, but having the opponent, or I mean, have it support both droids and separatists. You know, droids more and then separatists after. So he kind of, his leadership does support Dooku a little bit, Newt Gunray a little bit, but he mostly supports droids. He supports, you know, Geonosians a little bit too, but he's mostly droids. He's a droid commander. So he should mainly do droids and then have like a separatists gain half these amounts, something of that nature. But that's the biggest one. Plus his tactical retreat does need to be reworked. Throwing his taunt onto a squishy IG-88 is going to suck. Especially when, let's say, like Wiggs goes next. Boom, IG-88 is gone. Well, that was pointless. Like, this one needs to go towards tanks and the healthiest characters first. So I'm okay if he throws a taunt onto R2, because a lot of times R2 will stealth out. Or he'll, if he's already taunting, you just throw the ability to make him evade. So, but like I said, he really needs a rework super bad, and so does his IG-86. Oh, not 86, huh? 86 is just another character. It's kind of meh. He's been dropped because R2-D2 came in. A lot of droid teams are now just subbing him out for R2 because R2 is so much better. He does adds a little more damage and crit chance and survivability to a team. But it is fun when I use him on my team, the way I have it built, being HK, R2, K2, B2, I'm sorry, R2, K2, 88, and 86, unless I need a B2, and then I swap them out for that, or this out for B2, so, I don't know, I feel like IG-86 could be another faction. Like, if they ever bring, like, an Underworld or something, he works more towards Underworld. He's not a separatist, but that's where I would see him as. And then lastly, the IG-100 Magna Guard is a super character a character that really needs to be reworked as well with Grievous, because this is Grievous's bodyguard. And he also needs, like, another unique ability. Honestly, I've thought of, if they ever did a rework, make a new IG-100 Magna Guard, or maybe IG-101 Magna Guard, but where he has some similar weapons to the original Battlefront 2 game, where he has like a Bulldog rifle and a rocket launcher, because we've seen in Clone Wars that B2s use rocket or IG-100s have used rocket launchers, so have a rocket variant, and that would be the one that would have Relentless Assault, and then Droid Commander Bodyguard would be this one, and then he, you know, taunts. He starts the game taunting. He's another auto taunter as long as Grievous is out. I can also see him auto taunt if Dooku is out as well. He did IG-100 Magna Guards also were with Dooku as well, but mostly with Grievous. So, you know, there's that kind of, you know, talk about. And he needs at least another, you know, ability or something. And he needs a new look. I feel like IG-100 should have the cape. I think he would look better, but that's my opinion. Those are my thoughts on droids. You know, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your ideas are in the comments below. You know, what would you like to see change to certain droids? I still think the droid so far that's the best, that doesn't need a zero rework, is R2. R2's just the best. He's right there. He's perfect. And he's my first Zeta. If you don't want to do Darth Vader, a lot of people do recommend Darth Vader for the Rancor raids, but I don't deal with the... I'm aim more towards AAT raid than Rancor because, personally, the guild I'm in just always dominates. I get maybe 1 or 2 attacks in. That's it. And it's like, well, that was a waste. So I just throw in a random team just to attack. I would like to help the team with Rancor, or the guild with Rancor, but it was covered. It's been covered for like 8 months since I've been in the guild. It's been like, no, it's been about actually 6 months. I've got a Han Solo close to a 6-star, and I'm getting close to General Kenobi. Yes! Because like a month or 2 months ago is when we finally started doing General Kenobi. So, but yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and you guys have a wonderful day.